from us. And I want you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? We are back, and today we are doing another video for type analysis, rounding out the fire, water, grass. We are looking at the grass type today. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. This is probably, honestly, out of all my series, this series takes the most effort, like to organize and set up. So it ends up being like a lot of times like a 2-day thing. Like I set because between athletics and school, like not a whole lot of time, so I try to spread out my work on this particular video over the weekend, which is why I usually take Sundays off, is because I usually prepare for this video on Sunday and record it on Monday and then upload it. But alright, let's get into it. So, looking at the history of the grass type. All grass types were special previous to the physical special split of Generation 4. There are 87 grass types, making it the 4th most common type in Pokemon, and it is actually 12.1% of Pokemon, so there are a very high number of them actually. And then another interesting tidbit is that there's the largest number of Pokemon have weaknesses to 4 times weakness to grass, if that makes sense. Like the most number of 4 times weaknesses belong to grass, but also the most number of 4 times resistances belong to grass. So take from that what you will, I guess. Looking at the stats, we see some pretty, honestly, average, mediocre, like not really lackluster stats. Especially if we look at speed, like you kind of want to say that grass type is a tanky type, but unfortunately, it's not even that bulky, and the typing itself doesn't offer a whole lot of ability to have bulk. So you're gonna find that like it's just honestly kind of that's why very few compared to the other types, honestly, a lot of time very few grass types reside in the upper tiers. Looking at typing viability, offensively you are going to be able to hit common ground, rock, and water types, which are three very common types, and that'll really come in handy. But you are going to be resisted by by 7 things, and like some of these types are pretty common. So like that's gonna lead to some really big struggles for the grass type. Those being bug, dragon, fire, flying, grass, poison, steel, and I would say honestly like dragon, fire, flying, and then steel are all very common types in higher level play. So you're going to really be struggling to use it as an offensive type, and for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 because it does hit a couple common types, but also gets walled by a lot of common types. On the defensive side, you are going to have a lot of key resistances, which are electric, grass, ground, water, letting grass types switch into a lot. But however, you're going to be weak to bug, fire, flying, ice, poison. Again, some pretty common attacking types here. Common U-turns, fire type Pokemon, flying type Pokemon, common ice coverage. These are a lot of things you're going to really fear. But because of generally slightly tankier builds on grass types, along with the fact that you do have a lot of key resistances to common attacking types, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 for just being pretty much dead average as defensive typing. If we look at notable trainers, there aren't a whole lot actually. We have Erica from Celadon City of the Kanto region. We have Gardenia from Eterna City of the Sinnoh region. I believe it's the Sinnoh region. And we have Ramos of Coumarine City of the Kalos region. Okay, if we look at top stats, this list will kind of embody why I'm saying that grass type is such a mediocre stat all around, which is what you're about to see. Go-Go is actually the top HP grass type, hitting 123 HP, which is by no means it's a fantastic HP stat, but is 123 really what people would call like a noticeably high HP stat? Not really. So like, that's kind of embodies like this trait. Like these are all fantastic stats, but they aren't stats that you think like, damn, that's really good. They're just stats that like make them key Pokemon, if that makes any sense. In attack stat, again, we have Breloom hitting 130 attack, which is a great attack stat for an offensive Pokemon, but for the top attack stat of its type is a little underwhelming, to be honest. We have Ferrothorn, who is a fantastic defensive Pokemon, and that's going to be 131 defense, which is again respectable, but not that ridiculously high. We have Mega Sceptile at 145 special attack, which is definitely a fantastic special attack stat, but like I keep saying, just really kind of lackluster because it's not going to be getting a lot of the Okos it needs. We have Virizion coming at 129 special defense, which is definitely pretty solid. That's a solid special defense stat. But again, like Virizion doesn't really scream defensive Pokemon with a grass fighting type, leaving it weak to a lot of stuff. And finally, we have Mega Sceptile coming at the speed stat. This is the one speed stat on this list that I will say 145 speed is a remarkable speed stat. So that's the one Pokemon on this list that I will say deserves some notice for how fast it is. Like Mega Sceptile is one of the fastest Pokemon in the game. Looking at legendaries, there aren't a whole lot of grass type legendaries. First of all, we have Celebi. Celebi being the Pokemon of like not time, but like time travel, I guess. I don't know. It's released in Generation 2. It's the Johto region fairy Pokemon. Like, not a fairy type, but they call them fairy Pokemon. Base 100 stats. We have Shaman and Shaman Sky. Both released in Gen 4. And then we have Virizion. Shaman is actually if we go back, Shaman is a Pokemon of gratitude. And Virizion is one of the Swords of Justice. Alright, so I don't know what happened here, but if we go look at top moves, we see Giga Drain, which clearly didn't make the animations for some reason. 75 base power, recovers 50% of the damage as health. We have Bullet Seed. It's a 25 base power attack that has multi-hit. Cotton Guard, which is a fantastic move that boosts defense by 3 stages. Leaf Storm is a 130 base power move, 90% accuracy, but lowers your special attack by 2. Energy Ball, a really reliable attack, 90 base power, but a 10% chance to lower defense, special defense. So that's going to be a really reliable grass type stab. Or coverage on a lot of Pokemon. Frenzy Plant being the strongest grass type attack in the game with 150 base power, 90% accuracy, but having a 1-turn recharge and having really poor distribution. Grass Knot is a move that deals damage based on your opponent's weight, which can come in handy. Seed Bomb, which is usually like the premier physical grass type attack with 80 base power. Synthesis recovers health based on weather. It'll be 1/2. Normally, I believe it's 1/3 in rain and 2/3 in sun. Spore, which is 100% accuracy, and will put foes to sleep, which is a great move and meta-defining move, honestly. And Solar Beam, which is 120 base power with a 1-turn charge prior to launching the attack. As most of you know, this is under Sun. You can launch a Solar Beam instantly. Competitive Pokemon. If we look at this, if we look at the OU tier, we have Breloom. Breloom is a fantastic offensive Pokemon. Being able to utilize Spore, potentially set up, or just fire off using Technician, fire off some really strong Mach Punch, Priority Mach Punch, or Bullet Seed becomes fearsomely strong. Rock Tomb for coverage, Drain Punch even if you want to go that route. Also, you could do a pretty annoying Poison Heal variant, which between Drain Punch and Poison Heal will be recovering a lot of health. If you wanted to also do Leech Seed, you can really drain your opponent's health very effectively. We have Celebi. Celebi has a pretty crappy typing, but utilizes a really great move pool, which puts it into the OU tier. At least that's my opinion on it. We have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn being a premier defensive Pokemon in the OU tier, one of the best, if not the best, and a staple on many of the teams that I use just for its offensive utility. Superior, a newcomer to the OU metagame, but nonetheless a defining force. Contrary, meaning that contrary launching into Stardom, letting spam Leaf Storms that get progressively stronger, that are kind of intimidating. Venusaur is Mega Venusaur especially is a ridiculously definition of a tanky Pokemon who definition of a tank, just comes in, sponges hits, dishes out damage, reliable throughout the match, really runs great both defensive and offensive sets. We have Chestnut, who is another tanky Pokemon coming out of the UU tier with a lot of great options as far as Leech Seed, setting up spikes, Spiky Shield, or really a lot of great, really offensive options. Shaman is a really, honestly, with Seed Flare being its signature move, doing a lot of damage. You're going to see Shaman used a lot as a powerful, usually Scarf Pokemon in the UU tier. Roserade being a great Toxic Spikes Pokemon, along with a fantastic specially offensive Pokemon. Whimsicott, the annoying Satan itself, with Prankster and a great move pool to utilize Prankster with, and a great Grass Fairy typing, along with stats that'll complement what it needs to do. You get Priority Leech Seed, Priority Substitute, Priority Encore, Priority Taunt. You can really play some mind games with your opponent. And finally, we have Mega Sceptile being a really great specially offensive, probably late game cleaner, but maybe you can fit it in just especially it applies a lot of special pressure on your opponent. If we look at signature abilities, we're gonna have Flower Reveal, which is a chance of I have to put these out of order. Crap. Effects War, which is a chance of status of any kind, could be sleep, paralysis, or poison upon contact. Sap Sipper, which grants a grass immunity to the user, and when hit by a grass move, you will get a +1 attack boost, which is really fantastic on Pokemon that can use it. Overgrow, signature of the starters, boosts grass type attacks when HP is below 1/3. Flower Reveal prevents lowering of allied grass type Pokemon stats, kind of a useless ability. Harvest, the premier user being Trevenant, it has a chance to recover used berries. Leaf Guard prevents status under the sun. And Chlorophyll, a really effective ability, is doubles your speed under the sun. Alright, so that was my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm thinking I'm going to do Electric next week, honestly. Kind of round out my, the starter, because, we have red, blue, green, and now we need to do yellow. So,